All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Grease Monkey stream. I am your host, Grease Monkey. Oh, excuse me. Today, I don't know what we're doing on. In Blender, we're just gonna hang out for a bit in Blender. I was doing some node stuff. I was working on some low poly art, but I don't know. We'll see where this stream takes us. PC games forever. Hey, Grease Monkey, great to see you streaming. Again, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good. I'm glad to be streaming back again. The streams honestly is what the streams honestly is what gets me to do and figure out things and make videos, and it's a good testing ground to figure out what to post and stuff. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad for you to be here. Sometimes I forget that people watch these streams. Because I definitely just treat. Oh my god, it's Jiraj. You changed your name? My dude. Why are you PC games forever? You're confusing me. How you doing? How are things in your world, man? How's your projects and animations and all your stuff? Nah, just have 2 accounts. Usually I watch stuff on this one. I see. Is it kind of like an algorithm thing? Like you watch stuff on this one to cater to an algorithm or something? Oh man. I'm doing okay, except still looking for a job. Amen. Same here. It's rough out there. The economy is rough and the world's rough. So I wish you the best of luck. And luck for me too. So yeah, so on this stream, I'll just be putzing around, messing with some nodes, messing with some ideas. After the stream last week, I went into the nodes and I wanted to create something that's like a procedural sky, not one that looks really good, but one that could just be used to throw up really quickly. So this is what I made. Nah, it's just not that deep. Just made this one a long time ago in primary school. Ah, okay. So yeah, I made this sky texture. The clouds obviously don't look that realistic, but I'm using a mixture of what is it, different Voronoi textures that are adding and subtracting from each other to make the clouds and stuff, which I think is kind of neat. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Erase. Okay. So I don't know, it's kind of neat. Could be used as in a pinch. If we mess with some of the settings here, you can see that they get edited, or that it moves. So it's kind of fun. Inverting it halfway is kind of definitely starts creating some weird circular stuff as we get through this and stuff. So that's fun. Another thing we can move is this, all right? So the sky patches, kind of the random noise that's on there. Make it filled with little dots in the sky. I'm sure if we put another one of these and subtract it on top, we can add more patches of sky. I don't know, it's useful. I think I don't know, we'll see. I'll have to do some more grease pencil stuff to see if it's actually useful. And then it gives some decent lighting in this stuff. I think for right now, let's just mess with some nodes and play around and hang out. I'm generally trying to figure this stuff out. I saw Compositor getting a lot of love from the dev. Have you been using with it lately? Blendering? No, I haven't seen. What are some like different changes in there? I know that they added stuff to it, but like what are some changes that have been added in there? Maybe we can toss it in playing. Uh all right, let me make a rounded cube real quick here. Oops. As far as I know, stuff that masks the SDF node, camera info node. Oh yeah, I did see some of that from what Default Cube. He did some stuff with like making like this glow that works in 3D space, but within the compositor. But yeah, there's been some stuff in there. The SDS stuff is interesting in the sense that it's cool that it exists, but I'm like, I don't know how to use it. Have you used SDFs a lot? Yeah, I also only saw it from Default Cube. We were watching the same thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. There's like a lot of neat stuff in there if you understand normals and screen space stuff or whatever. But like, I'm starting to realize that I like need to have a project or a goal in mind for me to like actually learn the thing. Like when I play around in there, I feel like I don't retain anything. So, I mean, I do retain stuff. It's just, I don't know, a little harder. I'm just setting up some different shapes here. I don't know. We're gonna mess with some nodes. Set up our view. We could do orthographic, but does that ruin the sky? It kind of does. So we're gonna keep perspective, but put this at like 150. Right. This off, this off. Let's do a square perspective. Let's just set up a testing ground here. And for this, I don't know. Let's set up that. Let's set our view here also to 150. I want to see the sky, but I also want to see very little of the storm. Go. Make sure to put the pass through here. Like that. Well, I don't know about yous, but I was working on the compositing nodes pack last half a year as a passion project when I made shape nodes and calculated SDFs. That's pretty cool. They were pretty cool for blending shapes and rounded corners. Unfortunately, I kind of abandoned the compositor project. With SDF nodes introduced, it felt a little pointless. Well, I can see how it could be pointless. but I mean, at least you learned stuff. So not pointless overall, but I understand where you're coming from. I assume you're like making shapes with like different procedural textures, right? Like lines and gradients and radial gradients and like the compare node, right? Is what you were probably doing, like if greater than this number, yada yada yada, like that type of stuff. What were you going to use the compositor node project? What were you going to do with it? What was the purpose of doing it? All right, so let's go to the shader node. Let's go to world. Let's go to the material. Let's pick the material. And let's just start messing around with some general looks here. I was wondering if there's a big difference between principal SDF, but let's just use the fuse for now because it's simpler, right? Do this. Okay, SDF, we'll do, what is it? Shader, color, shader to RGB. We'll connect this, you know, some standard stuff. Let's see if we can make an interesting toon shader, an interesting look. We'll do the shader to RGB there. So we got both of these, and they're very slightly different. This one has the highlight on it. I think that's the difference, right? Like this metallic function on, right? I'm just kind of getting reintroduced here to these shader nodes. I have been out of Blender for so long that there's so much I have not kept up with. Maybe eventually I could start making like art for like, you know, I've been getting into Godot and the game engine to try and maybe make a game and then maybe use this to make a game or art or something like that. Anyway, you say, I was thinking of it as a 2D motion graphics pack, but haven't had much use for it yet. I don't know, just wanted to make something cool and quote unquote professional looking as a product on Gumroad. Oh man, I understand that. I remember, but like on my Gumroad, I have the Toon shader and the Energy Pack shader, and I put that up there for like, it was something that I just made and I put it on Gumroad, and I ended up making like some money from that. And now I get into the brain of like, what can I do to make a great product, right? And I get really caught up on like the meta of like creating a product or making a thing. But I have to like always remember like these live streams, when I think about making a video on my YouTube channel, it's not about like, what can I make a video on? Usually what I have to do is like, I have to go into a live stream or do something where there's like, not pressure, but like to do something and make something. I go through some like bumpy roads, then I make a thing to solution, then I make the video. And then for like the product, it'd be like, you know, I have to make the thing first and then I could see the use for it. Sometimes thinking about the product makes it have less motivation since you're working like in reverse. Spooky Mansar, hi, what happened to the low poly art? I'll be doing it at some point in the stream. I was just gonna start off with a little bit of messing with nodes right now, Spooky. But then I will finish it. I'll probably spend the last hour of the stream, hour and a half on the stream doing it. Or finishing it, I should say. Because it's almost done. Even though I really want to start over. Even there's so much I learned. Okay. Let's make the Toon shader. I watched a YouTube video that did the Toon shader a little differently. Instead of using the color ramp, they used something else, right? Where they got the color No, they did a separate color. Yeah, I even made like more proper documentation for it via Notion website. Look at you going through the pipeline though of making like a product, especially with documentation. That's work, like good work. You know what I mean? It's not easy just to do that stuff. We're gonna separate the color here. Oh, we're gonna do it over here. Let's separate the color. Okay, then we'll put this here, and then we can see the RGB. Is there a node wrangler to swap the outputs? Okay, maybe not. Whatever, it's fine. And spoke with Blender Frenzy about it in hopes of figuring out a better way to market it. Yeah. Well, hopefully you don't feel too bad about abandoning it. Some projects, you know, sometimes maybe you'll get back to it, maybe you won't. Hopefully you're not I hope you're not beating yourself up about it. Whatever. All right, color, combine color. Not in monetization sense, it's they're just making it feel serious. Yeah. Ultimately, do you want to be like a product maker? Like you want to make stuff? I remember a long time ago you were making like a smart bone, weren't you? Maybe not smart bones, but like smart something for grease pencil. No, I kind of came to terms with it by now. Okay, good. That is the life of an artist. Yeah, with the video I saw, they use like, which I think is unintuitive, the RGB curves. Like maybe it's intuitive. Set in the color, and then they did something like this, where they like stepped it. That working? Why doesn't that not do anything? Yeah, yeah, that was about 2 years ago, I believe. Oh my God, 2 years? Jesus Christ. Time has been going by for a lot, very fast. That's crazy. That was also going nowhere. I mean, they're all experiments. Where it went was where it went was where it needed to go, you know? All right, let me put a value of 0.5 here. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get some toony shader up in here. I think if I remember correctly, I separated this into different things. Because yeah, controlling a color ramp in the nodes is like a hassle. Like I remember in my Tune Shader, I did it with like map range nodes and stuff, and it was like a whole thing. Yeah, I just need to find a job where I can actually utilize all this experience. Unfortunately, experience is hard to eat. Yeah, I feel ya. I feel ya. can we maybe influence this like these ramps? I think the constant works good, but what if we wanted the influence of like the ambient light, which is blue? Can we do a color? We're just messing with nodes here, y'all. We're making tunes. This is some basic stuff. People have done this 100,000 times, but let's just get reacquainted with it. Da, da, da. Okay, let's do a color. Mix color. I know if we get the object, let's see, input object, like get some object info. No, not object info. The light info. So if we do like a light path, like this crazy node, the light path node is so ridiculous. And we do a reflection ray. What's this look like? Nothing. Because why would it? What does this look like if we just put it into the shader here? I don't know if this is actually doing anything. We just put the reflected ray in this. Because there is no reflection ray. What if we put the diffuse? Am I doing this right? Should this be normalized? Camera ray. What is camera ray? Shadow ray. Does light paths even matter in EV? Am I doing this? Is this a dumb thing to do? This is probably a dumb thing to do. There are no rays. What am I thinking? Okay, let's go back. All right. Here, there we go. Not sure if reflection ray is available in EV. Yeah, I think you're right. I think what's interesting about this EV only supports a few light path node outputs as far as I know. Yeah, that makes sense. I like this gradient on the gray though. Ooh, somebody subscribe. I haven't heard that sound effect in like forever. SYCY. I appreciate you subscribing. Thank you. That kind of scared me. I haven't been streaming for long. I'm not used to the... anyway, so the black is interesting. If we made this like not completely black, but like what it 0.25, so 75% black. That's interesting because then if we change the background, we got like, this is very interesting. Okay. Who wouldn't be scared of someone following them? Isn't it crazy? Yeah, we're on the internet and like you have like social media accounts and it's like, I'm going to follow you. Everything you do is somebody peeking around a corner behind you. Okay, so we got like this basic toon shader here. Let's add in another basic thing that people add, which is just the Fresnel. Super simple, super basic. Barely an inconvenience. Okay, so let's do a since this is a color, it's all gonna be color stuff. So we're gonna do mix color. We're gonna do layer weights. I know there's like a Fresnel. I wonder if it's any different, but I forgot. So we're gonna mix this color with the Fresnel. We'll put there and we'll put here. Now we got like this glowy outline. We're gonna focus on the orb. Cool. We're just on the precipice. If we change the, is there a difference between this? It's interesting changing between principal SDF and diffuse. Just ever so slightly changes the shape. Kind of interesting. Anyway, so we'll do the mix shader, and then we're gonna do the same thing with this Fresnel. We're going to multiply. Oh, sorry, we're gonna add. We're gonna add the white to it, and then we can change it to different colors. Is the Raycast node in Eevee, or was that just cycles? Just curious. Let's find out. Raycast. Like, it's in here. Does it work? It usually gives you a warning, so maybe it does work. I have to see how the Raycast works. There's this guy, but I've seen him on Twitter, Camel Cartesian. He did like this cool transparent goo skin thing that he used the Raycast node for, and it was like awesome. And just even understanding what's even going on is like a whole thing. So we'll do the same thing. We'll do a color ramp. We'll do constant. We're just gonna build out this super basic thing. Yeah, he does insane things. Yeah, he's definitely like has a good understanding of like, what is it, visual math or 3D math, computer science math. It's so good. And it would require like such a deep dive to like I know a very basic amount, like how normals work and screen space stuff, but like as far as like using those tools to build stuff, I don't know, it's wild. All right, super basic thing here. We got a Fresnel. A while back, I remember he was doing like a hair simulation in geometry nodes, and I believe that was before simulation nodes even was a thing. Yeah, I remember when geometry nodes were still like not fully integrated into Blender, and people were already like in the beta simulating, doing particle simulations. Some of those simulations should just come in as like presets for Blender. Like there's like simulation nodes or simulation stuff that are just basic particle simulation, should just be like a built-in preset for Blender. So because right now, like for particle generation, if you didn't know anything about 3D or Blender and stuff, like how would you just like start doing it besides trying to find somebody who uses it in geometry nodes? Because using the built-in particles in Blender, I don't think are like, you know, they're a legacy, right? Like it'll be kind of silly to learn that. It'll be better to learn the geometry nodes or have the geometry nodes set up. Not necessarily learn it, but having the geometry nodes set up would probably be better in the long run. Because yeah, like the particle system in Blender is really antiquated, right? Like, is it even still here? It is, right? Yeah, the particle system, this whole system here. Or they should just replace this particle system with like a geometry node setup. Unless they did that, but that's what they should do. Okay, so we're not gonna clamp the factor. Does that do anything? Clamp the results. This is cool. And then what if we did alpha? Okay, it's definitely color. I guess that's what they intend to do. Okay, I hope they do. Can we do a math node here? Do like a math, multiply the number. Then you can make it really bright. You can invert the Fresnel, which is kind of cool. We'll do multiply add just so we can. That's cool. Okay, we're slowly building out this toon shader, this basic toon shader that everybody's done like a bajillion times. We're doing it with color ramps right now because that's just how I know how to make it. But eventually, no color ramps. Need to be able to control things. Okay, so we got a Fresnel. That's Fresnel. Fresnel. Yeah, we got a Fresnel. Keep this at 1 here. Okay. So I'm gonna just start boxing these up. So I'll hit F on them and I'll do Fresnel. We'll know that that is part of the Fresnel group. Fresnelli. And then yeah, we'll know this is part of the Toony shader part. We're gonna separate this here. We'll box this up and call it like layer separation. This is just for me. I can start seeing what the heck's going on. Oh my god, a box was in a box. There we go. Grab. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And then so I'm just gonna use the diffuse SDF for now. We'll just erase this just to simplify this. Keep this on the outside. All right. And then we got some normals. I want to see what we could do with some of this normal stuff. Let's just do a weird texture. Let's do the magic texture. Let's put that in the normals. That is obviously ridiculous looking. But you can see kind of like this square pattern on here. That's cool. Let's do... Aren't you supposed to put this in like a normal map or something? Normal. Yeah, a bump map. Is that what it is? Bump map. Then we'll put it on distance. Does this do anything? Doesn't do anything here. Invert. Doing something there. Let's use a different texture. One that I can understand. We'll do Voronoi. Did you ever use magic texture? No. Magic texture. Is that like... Is that a plugin? Is that a program? Or are you just saying this texture, the magic texture? Oh, look at that. We can cut the edges. I guess it's under height then. All right, we're building this out. So we got the normal map that's here. And then we can change its color. You can see the bump map much less in different color situations. Put the value here. Let's put the value to 0.75. Nope, that's not it. 0.9. 0.9. Okay. Yeah, the Magic Noise Blender, not a plugin. Yeah. It looks pretty cool. Like, I'm using it right now. It's giving like this cool wave effect. Kind of fun. We can make them wavy. Oh man, we can do something crazy like, what is this? That looks ridiculous. I think what we could do with this magic texture, because I always take it out of the, because I always take it out like, magic texture is cool, I should use it, but I don't know how to use it. I guess like this, I think what's cool about the magic texture, so let's add in, is I think that the magic texture is cool looking, right? Like, let me show you how I think it should probably be used, right? So I think I'm not anybody. So I think the magic texture is cool. So this is what it looks like, right? It's like ridiculous looking, right? Let's do object. Oops. Hold on, I'm messing this up. So let's do object. Okay. So yeah, the magic texture is cool. And if we take out the depth, let's put down 1, 2, you can see it starts getting like weird here, right? I think what's cool about the magic texture is that it's actually just combining a bunch of different things, like RGBs together to like make this. So if we like lower this. Also, let's add in one more shape here. Let's add in a plane. Rotate it, and we'll grab it by the X. We'll do 6. And then we'll put the material in here. Okay. We have the different materials here. So yeah, so we have the magic texture. We can add like different depth to it or whatever. At 0, it looks pretty interesting. I think if you separate the RGB, like the colors for it, I think it ends up being cooler. What if we did reflection? Reflection's kind of interesting. Generated and then normal. Camera. Camera is kind of cool. Kind of like wherever you look, it kind of gives it an effect. Yeah, so if you separate the XYZ, we'll do that, right? So utilities, colors, actually separate color. And then you can see that the magic texture is like these diagonal lines mixed with the other diagonal lines mixed with another set of diagonal lines. I think it's in 3 different directions, right? So let me look at it from the top here. So yeah, so on the plane, let's look at it from the plane's perspective, actually. On the plane, it goes like diagonal down on the blue, diagonal up on the red, and back to diagonal down. I wonder if that's just like a different direction though, like entirely. So that's cool. If we go to HSV, if we go down to the hue, that's pretty interesting. Get this interesting look. Saturation, you get like these dotted lines between like solid and not solid. And if you did a compare, right? Compare, and you put that in here, you can start getting some like weird stuff if you're into like some abstract art. Like look at this plane. Look at both of these actually. Let me make this plane a little closer here. So yeah, you can see if you change the separate color to HSV, go to the saturation and just change the amount, you can kind of like these psychedelic effects. Alternate it with some colors. That's cool. Let's see what value does. Same thing, kind of looks the same. Kind of like a web. And if we do HSL, that one reminds me of a cheese grinder. That's funny. It does. The one that I thought the texture. I'm hungry too. The texture that I thought was interesting that I didn't see before is Gaber texture. This one right here. Like, let's put that in there and let's just see what this looks like. Let's put the value of 1. Actually, before we compare it, let's just see what it looks like normally. So under red, so it has like these waves going out, and then the blue has the waves going the other way. Honestly, it looks the same as technically like what it's doing and stuff. But I think it's interesting regardless. Value. Let's put it back to RGB. Yeah, they kind of look like what is that thing called? Something diffusion? Something diffusion. What that looks like. Looks kind of like a cool effect. I think if you stretched it out, thing. Stable diffusion? I guess that's what it would be. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think you're right. Anyway. Yeah, the textures are fun. It's interesting using it now. Yeah, like this. Right. So we use it as kind of like a bump map. It's kind of fun like this. Looks good on the orb. If we change it to other things like UVs, normals, object, we'll just stick with generated. So this is a good one to do it on the bump map. If we change the distance, yep, that's what that does. And then we can add the strength there. Let me hit save just in case this crashes. All right, let's try some different textures to see if we can cut up this edge a little better. Texture. Let's do dumb ones that we know won't work, like the checker one. So we'll do the checker one. You can barely see that on there. That's crazy. Oh, we should do black. And then white. Okay, so we know that one not good. Let's do Voronoi, easy. We know this is gonna do something. It didn't do anything. There it is. We can kind of break up that texture. Kind of nice. Change the detail. Kind of give this a grainy look. We took the lucenarity up. I always mess with this and I'm like, what is the... Sure, it's a math term or somebody's name who invented like the math equation for it, but lucenarity. That's kind of interesting. We bring the scale up. I wonder if we change the scale on here. Kind of gives it like an old computer look. like a dithering. Like it doesn't look exactly like dithering, but it is kind of interesting. All right, if you did something like that, put the random up. Change the scale. Erase the magic texture. Does normalize do anything? Interesting. Normalize rolls it a little bit better. So we'll keep normalize on. Start slowly. We'll continue to slowly build this. I kind of like the separation it gives it. Cool. So what I think also I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this. And I'm gonna move it over to the Fresnel and see if we can also cut it up as well. Cut up the separation here, this light blue, right? With that. Put that here. And it did the same thing. So we kind of like soften up that Fresnel edge. So that's cool. Kind of fun. Continue to mess around with this. So if we did it like really small, nothing, and then we could start fading it in. If we inverted it, what would happen here? Nothing. Nothing. Strength is pretty cool. I gotta keep saving because I feel like this is just, I'm gonna crash Blender. All right, so I'm gonna bring this back to what it was, 0.1. Okay. Anyway, overall, this is interesting. I think I'm going to add in an input value so we can put in the same value in these scales. So we'll put the scale there and we'll put the scale there. And then this will be the same value for both the edge and the separation of the toon shaderness. It's kind of janky because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to. Maybe there should be like a driver. We just copy this number to the other number. That's probably the way to do it, but we'll leave it jank for now. This is looking kind of interesting. But then if we, like I said, if we change the diffuse color, like different shit happens here. Like it comes back, it goes. So I think this stays at a higher value. Let's bring down the sunlight just a little bit here. Put the strength to 1. Guess not. Not doing the separation that I think it was. So let's just put this back. 0.9. Bring back the 3 layers. And then bring the sun. Okay. That's interesting. I think the orb looks the best. It doesn't really do anything for the flat. The cone, it does something pretty good. So the rounded shape looks good. Cool, we'll hit save. What else can we do to this thing? I think the color is influenced here. Pink. Like we could just put another color ramp over here, right? And color it. How do I free this node from its jail? Okay, now let's just make another one. Color ramp. Let's add some fun colors real quick. So yeah, we might go to that low poly and we'll continue low poly. Low poly art, get it finished. But okay, let's flip these. Let's not flip those. Let's add HSL. Bar. We get some juicy colors though. Even this one looks nice. That's a fun color. And yeah, and the same I think goes for this. Like we could put this on the second one, right? For the Fresnel. All right, we're doing the thing where we're like flipping the colors here. Actually, what if we just did this? What if we like hit invert? We invert the colors. We use the same color combination. We put it, oops, put it here, here. Okay. This essentially does what I want it to do. And it gives me an inverted Fresnel color. That's kind of fun. If we do near though, oh man, if we put it at like 0.5, pretty sweet. And then if we did like a color hue saturation, you know, brought up the nope, the saturation. Does that do anything? I thought this would do something. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. So orb is looking interesting. I wonder if we put like a white color, zero saturation, put the white color here. A little much, right? Probably a lot. Let's just not have it. That's kind of cool. What else can we do here? So far we got like a I don't know, very standard toon shady type of thing here. Looks kind of good. I think I'm running out of stuff to do to it though, so we might switch projects here, but yeah, we got the look going down. All right. What else? Could we do anything else? So let's switch this to, instead of, we're gonna do this. So instead of the diffuse, we will do the principal shader. Put this into the normals. That's the principal volume, principal shader. Put this into the normals. Change it like this. It is the same. And now if we change different parameters here, bring down the roughness. What if we did metallic? The metallic is interesting because it's showing the sky right now. So if we edited the sky, like the clouds, which would be what, over here? No, this one. Yeah, it's definitely being affected there. Okay. We'll go back to object. Take off the metallic. Looks great. Love the colors. Yeah, I like how they diffuse a little grainy effect. Kind of fun. All right, so we got that. What if we added a emissions? Would I just make it bright? That's fun. Not really. Interesting. No, no emissions. How about thin film? Thin film do anything? No. How about sheen? Sheen kind of extends the look. Coat. Oh, coat's fun. Coat adds coat adds the reflection of the sky onto it, so you can kind of start seeing the sky there. We put the roughness all the way up, and then we change the IOR. Kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Let's keep the coat on. All right, we put the transmission up, which means what? Invisibility, not invisibility, but see-throughness, right? But I think I have to set some settings here for that, right? What is this thickness like parameter? Looks like it just takes a value. So let's, if we change the thickness here, does that do anything? I've never used the thickness parameter. All right, let's put our transmission up. Actually, would it work now? Hold on. Yeah, the thickness parameter works with transmission. So if it's super thick, you can't like see through it, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, in the settings, let's see if there's any settings here that we will need here. We got volume, displacement, thickness, settings. Under settings, we'll go to surface. Back face culling, blah, blah, blah. Ray trace transmissions. Shadow. What if we go into, we put ray tracing on? Kind of changes some? I don't know. I don't know. All right, we'll take off transmission. Transmission's kind of like fades all that. All right, for specular, the IOR obviously does something there. We change the color of the transmission, it's not going to do anything because it's already being colored at the end. All right, how about subsurface? Subsurface ain't doing anything for us. Diffuse, at the roughness. All right. I think we got some settings in there that's kind of interesting. Got like this fading. What else could we do? We'll take off the diffuse. We'll keep that there. Okay. Without any blur in between it. This is what it looks like. Kind of wild looking. With some fading. Pretty good. Cool. Kind of looks like a crystal ball. If we put this to be closer to white, the pink kind of takes over. We switch colors. All right, we'll keep it that color. All right, all right, all right. Now what I want to do is this bump has a normal map on it. What if we mess with that? So we'll do the same thing. Can we bump a bump? If we put this, put a bump on there, and then we offset it by the same thing in height. Does that do anything? Does that just double the effect? Probably just doubling the effect. Oh look, we're seeing like the the faces of it. I'm gonna just duplicate this whole setup so we can mess with it singularly. Kind of fun. Interesting. What if, yeah, we keep it on randomize, but instead of like a Voronoi, what if we put color? All right. What if we put a different texture in here? We'll do texture, just a normal noise texture. Put that in there. Looking weird. Kind of fun. Put the scale up, or it's tiny. Kind of a weird texture. Oh, if we distort it, no, it looks like an orb with like clouds in it. We did reflection for the texture coordinates. Now we can look at it differently and it'll all wobble around. We'll do 0.01. 0.05. 0.02. The subtle effect is kind of nice, kind of interesting. Unreflected. Ugh. Let me drink some water here. Let me think. Doing good, Lonnie. Just messing around with some shaders before I go back to the low poly art making. Pretty funky. Put this texture back on there. Let's try 4D. How you doing today, Lonnie? How is your Monday? How does Monday go? A Monday go. All right. I think we're almost done here. I think I'm running out of steam for this shading. This shit looks ridiculous, though. Looks like the Borg. We will assimilate you. Big vibing, heading back to work tomorrow. Not soaked about it, but I'm good. Yeah, going back to work. I hope you had a good break, though. I hope you were able to get some relaxation and and perspective and life and yeah. I hope you're doing good after the relaxation. Looks pretty cool. What if we made it even smaller? 0.05. Oh, we can't even see it. 0.05. 0.1. Now we can. Kind of a neat effect. All right, and then if we rotate this, we also colored our light. Would that change anything? I forgot. It does not because we are literally coloring it at the end here, aren't we? But now if we color the light, would that do anything? It gives us some color. That reflection is so trippy looking. Bum 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 bum. Okay. All right. I think this is enough traction here. Let's erase. Let's clean this up and then we'll go back to our low poly art. Finish that project up. Let's fix all this, put that there. Invert, we'll do this. Take that. We'll add in some reroutes. There you go. We'll hit save. We'll go back to our world. Originally, this was like this cloud procedural texture I made, but no, this might be something eventually. Kind of looks fun. Oh, all right. Let me get some water, and then we will start. We'll finish up the low poly, and then maybe we could start another low poly art after that. But I will be right back after these messages. And by messages, I just mean this break. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. All right, I switched the project over, so we're back to the low poly art. I kind of forgot what we were doing. I think we did most of it. Yeah, we have the low poly, the little chibi version of Spooky Monstera, a VTuber. If we see the pixelation, we can see that she's pixelated. Fun. So I forgot what we were mostly doing. I think what we needed to do was finish the jacket. And I think that's it. We could probably call this done for now. I did a lot of learning doing this low poly art. I wish I could my urge is to start this over, which is a silly idea, but that's how I feel. Just looking at it now, the bangs are a little too far from the head. I think I'll fix that now. But yeah, we just gotta finish the jacket, and then we could probably call this kind of done. And then we can rig it if we wanted to, which I might do off stream, because that is a boring process. That is super, just one of the most boring processes that there is. Okay. I'm a little tired today. Okay, so from seeing this, let's see if fixing the hair helps us with anything. We're gonna take off the solidify and the mirror, and we're going to go into point mode, and we're gonna select the bangs here. We're gonna click on the top here. There's an update for paint systems. Okay, that's cool how I can just update your add-ons. Make sure my screencast keys are here so you can see them. There we go. All right, so what do we have here? What are we doing? Oh yeah, we're moving the bangs closer to the head, or maybe we should make the head closer to the bangs. Let's try the head first. So makes me wonder if anything changed with Mantis rigging nodes add-on. Oh my god, nodes and rigging sounds difficult. I've just gotten used to, not recently, but I got used to doing it without the nodes. Does the nodes make it easier? I'm going to select the face, and we're just going to move it forward. GY. And we're going to select these guys. Get these back. Okay. This looks a little better. There's still a little bit I want to do here. Move it on the Y. Yeah, I suppose it is kind of make your own Rigify presets. Okay. I can see that being useful. I remember I was using Houdini for a bit, and all that is nodes, and then they have the rigging on there, and I just found it to be so difficult. But also, I mean, most people find the shader nodes kind of difficult, and I got used to it. So maybe it's just a matter of getting used to it. All right, I think we fixed the head. Extending the head and moving the points was the way to do it. Oh yeah, I forgot to put proportional editing here. And then also put it so it's unconnected only, which it is. It doesn't really matter how bumpy her head looks. But the hair, much better. All right. Cool. And then, yeah, what we were doing, the jacket. That's right. So we were doing the jacket. We'll do home. And we'll have to do this in pieces. There's the jacket part and the sleeve. So I'm going to isolate the body and the sleeves, and we're just gonna work on that. We'll do this. We'll go to edit mode, and we'll see that the jacket is here. And we're in paint mode. Let's see where the texture is for this. So if I go into the shaders, this has the right thing, right? It should be body. Oh no, we're doing it all separate. Separate materials. Okay. So we'll get the texture here. We'll grab it, bring this, we'll delete it. And then we'll connect this. So then now when we paint over this, we could see where the jacket is. So this is the front edge. Is this the other front edge? That's the other front edge. So I think I want to, when I first did this, the UV mapping, I was still figuring out how to even go about this. So I'm gonna have to do this again. So let's do that. I'm gonna select it all. I'm gonna hit U, unwrap by angle. I see that they're the same. So what I'm gonna do here is go into the UV editor, go to the face mode. I'm gonna select this face, hit Shift S. Well, not actually, Shift C to bring the cursor in the bottom left, then Shift S, select it to cursor. Nope. Selection to cursor offset. There we go. And then for this one, is it just a matter of rotating it? Let's see. It's not, it's a mirror, so we'll do Control M on the X axis. We mirrored it. Shift S to the cursor. Now they're lined up. So now when we select both of these and we put it over here, we shrink it down. Now when we go to paint mode and we select this, now we could see that the front is still here. And we can kind of paint through to the back, right? And then it goes all the way to the back. And then that's the back half. So we're painting just one side of it. All right. Cool. So we're gonna have to re-export something here. We're gonna save this. We're gonna have to re-export the UV overlay. So under UV editor, go all the way to the bottom, do export UV layout. I already have one here. I'm just gonna select it. I hope that was the right one. It is. Okay. We're gonna do 0 fill opacity. Go. Okay, it's there. We could see it. You can see it right here. Okay. So we use that in the Krita. In Le Krita. Okay, cool. So that's already set to go. let's do some markings, and then we're gonna save this texture. So let's mark where the shoulders would be. I just need to be able to see it. Okay. So we'll go back to this paint mode. We'll select this. Where's my sleeve? Here's the sleeve. All right, so the sleeve is right. I think I could just do it in this view. So let's do texture paint. Let's make this black. Should be working now. Oh, missing texture link. This one? What texture link is it missing? Is it because... All right. Oh, see, this is like the frustrating part. So yeah, the error it's giving me at the bottom, it says that missing texture or linked detected, but the texture is right here. It already knows that it's here. Oh, so we save it? What's the issue? We packed it. Oh my God, why is it much more annoying than it needs? Like, why wouldn't I be able to paint? If I'm able to paint in the paint mode, why can't I do it in this view? Pretty annoying. We might have to do it the way I was just doing it. Even though you would think you'd be able to do it on here. Oh, it's a texture slot? Is that what it is? Here, here. Okay, that was stupid. Basically, there's an option up here that needs to be selected to pick the texture that you're painting. Pretty annoying. Would be nice if it said which texture is missing, or rather what is missing the texture. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. But yeah, it was just selecting the texture in paint mode up here because it was this little button didn't have anything in it. So what is the point? What is that paint system tabs? Oh, the paint system is the add-on paint systems, which I think is a very good add-on. I'm just not using it right now. I think it's a little more than what I need right now, and I don't want to complicate the process of this low poly doing thing. But yeah, it's an add-on called Paint Systems, and if you check it out, yeah, it just makes it so it's easier to paint textures, which I'm not using right now, which is funny. Like I said, I just want to not use any add-ons as I learn this like low poly process, and I think it's probably overkill for what I needed anyway. So okay, now I can paint under here. Let me change actually the color of the sleeve so I could see the separation. Oh, is it comparable to UCU Paint? Yeah, I think UCU Paint has more in-depth, uh, more in more. It's for more. I think it's more for the technically minded who understands the nodes and all the stuff that's going on and the verbiage and stuff. So I definitely recommend it for anybody who thinks UCU Paint is like too much. Paint Systems is just a simpler version of that. I don't like to compare them because while they are doing the same thing or similar things, I do feel like they're for different people. The UCU Paint is very good, and so is Paint Systems, but one is simpler than the other. All right, let's go to paint mode. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. There, paint mode. Now I can paint the separation here. Oh, let me bring up the wireframe so I can see it. There we go. I just want to see where the sleeves are located right there. Cool. Just doing some general where stuff is. That's our line. Gets cut off by that. This. Edge work. Then we're going to take it to Krita and just do it in Krita. Center is here. Cool. Let me pre-open Krita here. Let me bring it down to a different screen just so I can set this up properly. Setting up Le Krita. All right, Krita's somewhat set up here. Minimize it for now. Random question: do you know if there's such a thing as file type for UV maps, like an export besides image exports? Okay, for the UV maps, is there a UV map export file? And the answer to that, I think, is no. Like, in my career and like doing 3D and VFX, I don't. Usually the UV map information is packaged with the 3D model. I know that in Blender, it makes it seem like there's a data type, right? Right. Like if you go into the object data here, no, sorry, the data here, object, then data, we have the UV maps here, right? And there technically are there, and you can add more and subtract more. And I think if you look at the data point, the data within Blender, so if we go to Blender, Blender file, like, is there UVs? No, see, yeah, the UVs are usually attached to the mesh. And there's no like UV, right? No. No, I don't think there is a file type for that. Not that I've ever seen. It's usually bundled with the model file. All right, let's save. Cool. Now what I'll do is I will plug in my tablet and then I don't know, get ready to do some drawing here. That's what I'm gonna do now. Moving my stuff. We'll put that there. We'll put that there. Plugging it in. Plugged in. Mouse working. Let's open up Krita. Let me open up low poly model textures. Let's put the UV map layout here so I can see it. There it is. And then just for good measure, I'm gonna delete a lot of this. And then I'm going to put the texture up here. Layer. That. We'll hit save. This is a terribly utilized map. We'll do this, yeah, normal. We'll lower the opacity of the UVs. We'll hit save. Reset up my computer here. Oh, oh, man. I'm tired today. Energies. Okay. All right. So we're here. Yeah, this is obviously rotated in a weird way. So we're going to do a rotate of the image. So rotate to the right. You can zoom in on this. You can kind of see where the jacket is going here. We're gonna get a Docker. We're gonna get palettes. I know I saved a palette for it. And I think I saved the jacket color. Maybe I didn't. Let me make sure. But insert this layer. And we're gonna edit this. We'll do one more column. And then we will do the pink. How do I change the color again? Oh, I guess I do have the colors. Oh my god. Krita crashed. Boy of my life. We'll open up Krita again. We'll do it again. Open up autosave. Let's do that. Let's save the critter. Yes. Okay. Glad it auto saved. Bro, adding the palette crashes critter. Insane. Do I have too many things going on? Maybe. Is it loading textures directly from critter file? No, it's loading. I'm doing this whole roundabout thing with exporting it as a PNG and then like reloading it. You'll see it, but like, yeah, it's super annoying. I actually do not recommend. Does Blender read critter files? That would be neat. All right, let's just paint this. Go. Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't think it does. No, yeah, I don't think it does either. But there's an add-on for it though. Honestly, I should look for that add-on because I'll probably be doing a lot of this process very similarly in the future. All right, so we have our thing here. I wonder if we'll make the edge of it like a light pink. Oh, I did. There it is. I'm gonna lower this opacity for right now. All right, and we're just gonna see kind of like where we could put this. I know you can like assign external editor to Blender to edit textures there. Yeah, I think that's like such a like it's cool kind of like just right clicking and hitting the texture and then going open up critter for me. Kind of like it's useful, but it's not. All right, we're gonna keep this simple. Honestly, we'll do the edges of it there too. I wonder if this stuff is gonna read. So we'll do a zigzag. We'll do a V. The other way, just for now. This should be getting to the back of it. We will do something like that. And we'll just see how this reads. We may need to put a different texture for like the top half of the jacket. Maybe even the top edge here. See how this reads. And then on the bottom, drawing on unwrapped flat image feels alien to me. It should feel alien to everybody. It is like an unnatural way to go about that. But if you think about it, like it's the difference between like, you know, somebody who paints like little miniature sculptures, little minis and stuff versus somebody who makes like either air balloons like at the Thanksgiving Day parade or like stuffed animals. Like you technically have to paint that on a flat texture. I don't know if that, you know, makes it better or worse, but I understand what you're saying, is what I'm saying. Definitely not the greatest at this. Just trying to see what I can do here with what I can do. Yeah, drawing on these unwrapped textures, it is weird. Not gonna lie about that one. Probably adding way too much detail right now, but let's just see what we can do, you know? How's it gonna look? Almost like a surprise. Recently, I found yet another node-based tool, by the way, called ArcBrush. Surprisingly, it's super simple to get into. Oh yeah, I saw that on my YouTubes. Is it, what is it aimed for? Is it aimed for 3D painting? Yeah, I mean, you probably do have the same YouTube feed. It's aimed at image adjustments and 2D sprite generation. Okay. Oh, so many tools come out. So hard to keep track of. Think Photoshop effects, masking, color adjustments. Okay. Oh man. Bum, 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 bum. Is it free? Does it cost money? Probably costs money. Which is fine. Technically, you can paint in it, but not really as in there to draw and as in there. Oh, it's free. Wow, that's pretty cool then. I'll definitely try and check it out. I love learning a new tool. All right, let's see what this looks like. So what we'll do is we'll go to image, rotate, we'll rotate it to the left. Now our texture's back in action. We'll take off that. We'll hit Control S. But then we'll export and we'll export it as a PNG right there. We'll do it right there. Export the PNG, hit yes, hit OK. That exported. I don't think it's open source though. Well, at least it's free. All right, we'll go back into this image. We'll hit reload. And we'll see how messy that is. I think that is way too much. Too wrinkly. If we like, yeah, it looks like she's just wearing like a checkered jacket. Okay, this guides me to like what I want here. All right, so one thing I'll do is I want it to have the two layers. So I'm going to duplicate this, go into edit mode, hit Control S, and just scale, or what am I doing here? Alt S, what is this? Theorize? No. Anyway, Alt S so that we can get it to stick out here. And then we'll change this to, instead of that, we'll change it to something different, like instead of green, change this to purple. Oh, shoot. Okay, so instead of green, we'll click on this and we'll purple. Purple. Yep. Ah, So we'll erase all these extra nodes. We'll just change this to purple. Oh, did I not duplicate it? Darn it, I'm messing this up. Oh, I just didn't get larger. So hit S. That. Then put it onto green, and then hit this. Purple. Cool. Then select all the unnecessary nodes. We'll make it purple like eyes here. This purple. Like her eyes. Or this purple. Okay. We'll do that purple, so then the inside looks like that. Cool, and then I think we're just gonna change the colors in Krita for everything else. All right. And yeah, we're gonna just simplify the jacket a bit. I think we're gonna make it a brighter purpley color. Yeah, we're gonna start with just bigger shapes. These are too small of shapes. All right, so back to grid up. All right, and then we will do the same thing. Image, rotate, right. Bring this back up. We will lock the transparency. We'll select the tool that we want. Back up. I think we will start this over here. So we'll grab all this. All right. So it should just really be big shapes. So like this. Do something like this. Do like two shapes per block. Smaller shape down here. We did some light stuff. It'll be here. Bring this here. I went ahead and looked for Krita add-ons. Blender Krita link seems promising. All right. Thank you. The researcher. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. I definitely am making my life a little harder right now. I believe it's a Krita plugin though. So what does that mean? Does that mean that it exports, Krita exports in a way that reads in Blender? Krita also exports in PSD, right? Could also do that. Nothing, just that it is extension installed in Blender and not and Krita, not Blender. Okay. See what this looks like. Image, rotate to the left. Save, file, export. Texture. Yes. Okay. Reload texture. Okay, we're getting closer. Honestly, I might just pick one. I think I'm overcomplicating this. I just pick one color and just deal with it. Okay. So let's do the reverse. So let's go here. Let's make it mostly this color. We're experimenting, y'all. This is what it's about. yeah, like I said, I think I'm overcomplicating this, but it'll be fine. We're just seeing what it looks like. Throw Voronoi on it and call it done. Oh man, boy, have I done that way too many times. Not a bad idea though, honestly. I think I'm just gonna paint it one color and call it done. All right, let's see what this looks like. Left, save, file, X, PNG. Okay, reload texture. Now it just looks bubbly. All right, we're just calling it one color and calling it done. That's what we're actually doing. For real, for real. But what I should be using is, what are those textures called when you just use gradients? Tile maps? Tile map. That's really what I should be doing. That's how I'm going to do it next time. All right. We'll save on that. We'll export texture. Reload it. That's what we'll do. We'll just call it. We'll call it done there. Well, maybe we'll add in some detail. So let's see where these, let's continue on and let's see where these leaves are at. Can we just select these, go to the UV editor, select these and just kind of rotate, not rotate them, bring in, go here, bring in these guys, copy, go here, copy, paste. Oops, that is wrong from the other project. Go here, control C, 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 E. Go here, delete these, control V. There we go. Copy this, erase this, put this here. And then we got our jacket pretty much ready to go there. If we hit this and we select that, and we can rotate this by 90. That's the top. We're gonna rotate it 180. All right. And I think we should add a face to this. Figure out where that face is unwrapped. Go. I overcomplicated it, and now the simpler thing is better. Let me fix the color though. Right, let's color. Just hit multiply here. Just set 50. Like I said, we'll use little strip maps in the future. The better way of doing this. Color dodge? This may be too much. But let's see. We'll call it good for now. We'll make this purple a little darker. Maybe it's a little too dark. All right. Multiply. Overlay burn. Put this to normal. Oh. Edge rotate left. Scale, file, export, texture, yes. Okay, I think we fixed it. Nice. I think we're done texturing for now. I think we can call this texture and just kind of complete, maybe. Drink some water. And unconnect my tablet. I don't think I need it anymore. All right. We can close blend Krita. Cool. All right. So let's put all the pivot points in the right place and start parenting things. Maybe I shouldn't parent anything. Hi, wow. Yeah, let's do save as, and then we're gonna call this low poly before parenting. I don't know, just to have it parenting. And let's put all the pivot points and stuff, the origin points, I should say, where they're supposed to go. So the arms already got it. Legs already got it. All right, this should be in the center. So I'm gonna, for the jackets, let me title them better. So this is body jacket outer, body jacket inner. We're gonna choose the parent and then the children. We'll do that. Hit Control P. Work. Hold on. Parents. No, parent last. The children and its parents. Control P. That's the one. Then the outer should be parented to inner. Cool. The arms are working. And then that body parent here, this should be parented to the body. So this to this. There we go. Now we got the body, and then the body, the legs be parented to the body as well. The shoe is already parented, right? Cool. So that's how the shoes work, how the arms work. Got the whole body, and then the neck. We're gonna put the origin at the right place here. So let's go into edit mode. Select the loop there. And then just do a nice little right click, set origin to 3D cursor. Now that's going there. That should be parented to the body. Keep offset. Beautiful. And then this Head should be rotating kind of like at its bottom half, right? So let's pick the bottom line here. There we go. And then right click, set origin to 3D cursor. Cool. Yep, now when we rotate it should place. Got the head. Looking around, the hair should be parented to the head. That, a lot of control P here. Head. The space button be parented to the hair. So let's do that. Object. And then this one should be parented to this. This one, this hand should be parented to that. Cool. Then the head should be parented to the body. Now we got everything parented to the right things. We'll call it spooky. I think we done it. Gotta make this visible. All right, so let's do a keyframe animation with all these objects where it's just going up and down. We'll loop it. Can she bend her knees? Good if we rig this. Could we select the bottom half here? Oops. Oh, what went on there? All right, we're gonna bring these up. Okay. Let's just do a quick little short animation here. When we render it, it renders out the head up. Oh, the head has. Get the dope sheet out. The head had an action. Weird. Delete that. Bring this back down. Everything should be the same now. Cool. We can kind of get rid of this. Okay. Let's do something silly. Just a little animation where they're going up and down. And we loop it down and yada yada yada. So what we'll do is we'll go to the first. We'll get rid of these extra panels here. Okay. Get rid of the first keyframe. We will select the location. We'll hit I on that. On spooky. And then we'll have them go up. Go like this. Up. Insert keyframe. And then we'll duplicate this keyframe again. We'll see what that looks like. Cool. We'll select the keyframes. We'll hit E and we'll do a What is that? Looks aggressive. Boom, boom. That's fun. Let's make the last keyframe. So we're just changing the interpolation right now. No, T is what I meant to write. So we'll change the last one to linear. Let's see what this looks like. How about the first middle two? If we change just the center to linear, that's the one. Right, we'll just change it both to back. We will go back to the first one, select it, make it like 60 frames, see what this looks like. Too long. Shorter. Obviously, the arc on this is terrible, but we're just trying to make something quick. A little closer. This one a little closer. We're gonna put a modifier, not a modifier, what is it called? I think it is a modifier. We're gonna select the modifier here. Where's my modifiers? Where's the tab for the modifiers? It used to be here. Uh, uh, I think it's in the graph editor. There it is. I wonder why it's not in the dope sheet. Okay, so we'll do modifiers, we'll do cyclic, we'll do repeat mirrored. This looks like cool. We'll go back to the dope sheet. Actually, we'll stay in the graph editor. Use that second one. Change this. To linear. This one. Bezels. I'm just messing with the graph here. There we go. And something that's a little bit more fun. Cool. Right. Now let's do something with the animation with the arms. So we got some secondary movement. Lonnie K, this looks so good. I appreciate the support. I do. I really do. Cause I don't feel it. So I'm gonna have to vicariously live through your words. Thank you. All right, let's do some secondary motion here. In the secondary motion, we'll go to the dope sheet. Like this. Probably erase all these keyframes. So now we just have the Z keyframe. Now we're gonna go back to the first. We'll keyframe, nope, the arm, the Y axis only. There you go. Hello. We will insert a single keyframe. And then we'll copy the keyframe onto the other arm. But let's just do it on for one now. We'll do the armed keyframe. So we're gonna start off below. So something like this. Oops. Below. We'll hit I. Nope, that's not it. Shift I. Control I. Thought there was like a. Doesn't matter. Insert keyframe. Replace keyframe. Nope. Replace single keyframe. There you go. So we go up. And then we'll rotate it up like this. I'll actually extend this out to here. And then when you land, it'll go back. So we can do. We will get that rotation. We'll make sure to go to the graph editor. Select the arm, do a modifier, cyclic, repeat motion mirrored. We're gonna animate this the correct way. Right, we're gonna extend this. Cool. Stretch this out for a second. I can see it. Okay. Phew. All right. So what's gonna happen is it has to hold until here, and then it goes up. So it should go. It should go. Let me put this on. This. Actually, let me just do the same one. The same one, and this one should actually be a little further up, like this, 20, and then it goes. Then we hold on here. What are all these extra frames? Okay, so we go boom. Then around here, so we'll here. It goes boom. We're gonna need some easing, but it'll be fine. So if we hit all of these, we hit T, we do Bezier, then we can start doing some curves. So like this. This. So right around here, we'll have it about halfway. So those are our three. So it goes boom. Right, and then we'll go back down here. Wait, how many frames does it jump? You jump for? Let's go back to the dope sheet real quick. Oopsie. So her body transformation here goes for 24 frames. Cool. Back to the graph. We'll get the arm. We'll go like this. Falls down. It should be in intervals of 12. I think I'm overcomplicating this again. So the peak of her jump is at 12. Okay. No, it's not. So we're gonna select all these. What if we did back? Back to the dope sheet and we line them up. So let's get this. Scale it down for a second. Okay, we're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna keep it. Okay. That worked out by a miracle and chance. Now I wonder if I could just copy this and then kind of like just mirror it. All right, so if I just went and I copied this, copied it, chose this, give it this, we put the single keyframe, got the same thing here. Like this, copy it onto, copy the keyframes. Well, at least we know what to do here. So on this one, it's negative, it's 20. So this one would be so this one will be negative 20. So we'll just do it this way. We'll do it, not an efficient way of doing this, but we'll do it this way. And then we'll select this one, it's 33, and then we'll go here and we'll do negative 33. So this one, which is 4. This one, negative 4. Oops. Negative 4. Negative 4. And then we're back to 20, negative 20. Okay. And then we will go to the graph editor, like this. We'll select all of them. We'll hit T. We'll hit this back here. And then we will make sure that this has a modifier, which is cyclic mirrored. Okay. Let's do a little head bobbies. So if we go to 3D viewport, not 3D viewport, dope sheet. Know that this is that goes on a 24 bases. We'll do the same thing where since it's on 24, let's do 24 times 3. Then it'll loop a little better. And we'll cut it by 1 frame. Add a frame? Okay. 24. So what if we just did a 48? 47? There you go. That loops a little better. Okay. All right, we're gonna unselect this real quick so I can just move some stuff around. The head bobbing's fun. All right, so if we did the head bobbing, it'd be like. It'll look down as it's falling and look up as they're going up. Okay. We'll do 0. Hit save. We'll hit this guy right here. We'll do a rotation on the X. We'll insert one single frame. We'll look up. Down. Probably hold this a little bit here. Look back up. For the head, we will also, we change all these back. And then we will go into the graph, select that modifier, cyclic, heat mirrored. And we're going to fix that. Probably put boom. If halfway I should just all right. Bouncy. Cool. I gotta fix this button situation. All right, so let's go into edit mode. Something weird here. This. This. Buttons are messed up. Transforms. Transforms. Cool. Put the pivot point here. What happened? There we go. Got little shoesies. I think we can copy. So I'm going to do a single keyframe here for the X. Same thing, we'll rotate this 42 degrees. 17 degrees. So boom. We'll hold on to this. Copy this. See what that looks like. Make sure to go into the graph editor and sure that we are acyclic, repeat motion mirrored. Like all, we'll do back. And then we will go to the dope sheet. The same thing for this one. Rotate, insert keyframe. I was hoping that I can just. Why can't I just copy keyframes into the other foot? The graph editor. Make sure that it's repeating with a cyclic. Cool. would okay. I think the last one of the, another thing we'll do is stretch out the legs so it goes. So we're just gonna mess with the position here. So it's just the Z position. Okay, so we will insert a single keyframe there. And we're gonna start it short, and then we're gonna have to adjust the height too. So we'll start it there. By the time we go here, we stretch it out to normal length. What's the normal? This. Start it off short. Start it off stretched. So it goes. We'll hold it. Actually, we'll hold it all the way. Copy this here. Get these with that. We gotta make sure we duplicate it. Click. So it's like this should be. So let's insert the similar keyframe here. See if we can just copy that. This. That. And we can make sure that we do the graph editor. Same thing, click, repeat. Oh, we forgot to this. They're slightly off. Weird. These don't cycle at the same. So let's select both of these here. Go to graph editor. Figure out why we these. Oh. Repeat. Goes. Not making it. So for these we go. Bounce, stretch out, hold, Maybe we should just erase this. That's repeating. Because this is just there we go. That's what we wanted. All right. Cool. Now I think I want a little squashy stretchy. So we put a squash and stretch on this whole thing. The deform. Simple deform. Oh. On one thing. So what we'll do is we will start from the beginning. Change that out. Okay. Then I think I will add in an empty. Here. Cookie. We will parent cookie object. And we'll add some squatchy stretchy there. Right. So we'll go back to the dope sheet. We'll add in a make her wide. Yeah, we'll put in a single keyframe for that. Turn this back on. We'll hit save. We'll start off at 0.9. Then we jump 12. Stretch out to 1.1. We'll stretch on by 24. We'll go back to 0.9. Select all these. We'll hit back and then see what this looks like. We got to make sure that we repeat it. Graph editor here. Modifier, cyclic, keep motion. Back to the dope sheets. Probably hold this. Probably put this one. So it goes like this. Stretches out 0.9. Out. So 1. Here goes to 2. Going down. Squished. Too much boing boing. Okay, I do want to keep this. You guys just have to kind of move where parented. So we're gonna do Alt P, clear parent. Go back. Bring this to the center of her body, like around the chest area here. Then reparent. Go P. See what this looks like. Let's do a play blast. See what that looks like. Bring down the plane to see what it looks like. See what this looks like. We're gonna hit Control F12, which will. All right, we're gonna move the camera back. Let's put the camera in perspective here. Put the back. We're in orthographic. So really what we should be changing is the scale. I think the squishing's a little too strong, so let's go back to this 1.2. I think it should just 1.1. Okay, let's check our camera controller. Visible goes all the way to what? 120. Bring this back to 120. Let's hit home. Let's there. Yep, just looking at it, see. You can add. We can add some rotation to the legs. So like we go here. Up. All right, so we'll add rotation here. So we'll just add in a single keyframe for that. Go up. Try and follow the rest of right here. Add in a single frame. And here we get the leg and like flare it out just a little bit. 12, there's single frame, so get the original keyframe there. Select all this, hit T. There's single. What we do. Yeah, we got to make sure that we do the graph editor. Then we do add modifier, cyclic, motion. Should it be more fun? think I'm just gonna do the same thing for this one on the Y. Go here, insert single keyframe. Go back here, we'll select piece. Go here, we'll that. Now we're gonna hit negative on all these, so or the opposite. So this one's gonna click on this. Okay, and then we're gonna make this positive now. Zero's good. 40. Positive. Okay. Let's repeat it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's working out. Let's take off the wireframe here. Right, and there you go. Render this, see what it looks like. That looks like. Oh, pop it right like this. I think we're gonna have to change the face so it looks all happy and excited. This is supposed to be a Rana from Minecraft. No, no, this is a. If you're asking about the character, it's a VTuber that I know that I'm making this for. All right, so let's not move in the camera. Just clear the keyframes. I think I'm gonna bring it back to what is it, 24? We'll hit home. We'll hit do that. We'll do the same thing. I don't think I need to render it again, but we can do it. There you go. That looks a little better. Yeah, I probably gotta change the face to make it look a little bit more joyous, happy. And then in the compositor, let's take off that pixelation stuff and let's just see it normal. Also, her pants should probably stretch out a bit. Okay. Let me just get rid of this background plane for a second. Back. All right, and then what I do here? Should I just make it bigger to accommodate for it? Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, that'll accommodate. Nice, nice, nice. Right, and then if I were to actually render it out for use or something, we would transparent. We get rid of this plane. Render that out. Look at it. There we go. Pretty fun. Thing we're missing here. Fish. Orange. All right, let's just fix the face. And then like call it, man. I'm getting tired. I'm hungry. So let's fix that face. So let's open up Krita. We're gonna open up the texture. And the texture, edit externally. We're gonna unpack this. Edit externally. Forgot why I packed. Use the current directory. We're good here. Go to image, edit externally. Okay, so let's make this. What is that? The anime face eye things. Just doing some Googling here to look. What are their lines? Are they 3 lines or are they? Okay, they're just kind of like. We'll just make it like eyes closed, eyebrows type of situation. With a big old smiley face. Okay, let's just do that. We plug in my... Let me plug in my tablet. All right. Let's pick this. Let's see the mirror. We'll bring it down to the center here. Let me export the UVs. No, I guess I don't need to. I could just look at where it is here. It is about that line. Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. Fix the eyes there. Go back to Krita. I'm going to like this. I will erase it. Actually, let me. Oh yeah, I'll do that. But I'm also gonna lower the opacity so I can see where it was. Okay. Let me take this off. Let me choose the purple eyelashes. Okay. And then I'm gonna lower the thing there. We'll do the dynamic brush. Cool. So let's just go. Let me change one of my things here for linear. And I could probably make it smaller. All right. Let's. What the hell? Oh my god, I'm silly. Okay, this is what we gotta do. I did this dumb. I'm gonna just duplicate this. Then down. Did dumb again. This. Okay. F. Oops. F. Crazy that um the paint the tool, the box, the fill isn't mirrored. Had a brain fart there. Okay. Like the nose. Actually, we'll probably do the nose without the mirror. Uh, Mirror. Guess we're using black. Colors I have. Bring back the mirror. Kind of don't want this to be super sharp. Like kind of rounded. Selection row. Like there you go. Thing here. Put in its own layer. Uh, this. Okay, put that back up. Okay, and do the tongue. Just do it with this fill tool. Go. Teeth. Doesn't make sense. Bug teeth. Oh, very funny. Let's see what this looks like. File, export, text, go, yes, okay. Go back to Blender. We reload the texture. I kind of like it. I just need the face to go up a little higher. The mouth most. So let's bring that up. Yes. All this. Off the mirror. We'll do T. This. This. Oopsies. This. Like that. Like them. this, that. Yes. Like that. Okay, that's covered. There you go. Now we'll do a file export, texture. Okay. And then we'll reload the texture. That should move the mouth up. There we go. I think the eyes should, let me look at it from up front here. I think I'm going to redo the eyes. Go back to Krita. This. Really what I want to do is kind of morph this. So we're going to select this, this, that. That looks a little better. Back to this. Okay, we'll bring back the mirror just so I can see where the thing is at. You will A, B, we'll make cover all this. I'm gonna hold S, select all that. We're going to do layer, new, copy from selection there, hit T, that over, we'll right click mirror. That. Okay. Then we'll do export, same thing. Sure, yes, okay, ba, ba, ba. And then we'll select the image or reload. Okay, that looks a little better. I think they need to be rotated. So picky. Let's just do that. Rotate it real quick. T. We'll rotate it by 3 notches. Same thing. We'll be right here. T. Select 3 notches. Oops. Here. We'll go back to here. A. Cover. Okay. Export this. Export. Yes. Okay. And then we'll reload one more time. I don't know if I like to teach. Let's go back. Oh my. Let's just merge this down for the T. like this. Export that. Okay, we'll go back, we'll do that, reveal. Okay, maybe the mouth is too big too, so let's scale that. Hold Alt and Shift. That. Hit select, export off. Load it. Okay, I think we can leave it there. I'm hungry. Close this. Okay. All right, I think I can call this finish. So took some time to learn a lot about low poly art. It was a lot of learning, honestly. By the time I got to this point, I wanted to start over. I was told not to because that's the right choice, honestly. That's the right thing. I'm glad I didn't start over. Did a little animation. It's very cute. But, you know, if we render it out, let's do that just to see what it looks like. Oops. Control this. There we go. There we go. I did a lot of learning on this project. I think I'm going to do low poly art much better next time. There's a lot of things I know I got to do beforehand and things and caveats that are going to get me in the future. But this is a lot of fun just learning some like low poly art. It was trying and the project's a mess, but it looks pretty fun. I'm happy I was able to get to this point. All right. I hope everybody had a good time on this stream and was able to see the low poly art. I'm gonna try doing this again with a different type of art. And it's gonna be even better since I already know all the caveats that I need to get into to make this. So I hope everybody had a wonderful time. This is my time. I'm gonna go eat. I hope everybody can take care. I'm gonna schedule in a stream for tomorrow, same time, same place. I hope to see you there. All right. Hope everybody had a good time. Take care. Bye.